Sue Greenwald with Awakened Stories, and I'm here today with the real, the one, the only drum roll, John F. Kennedy Jr. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Sue. Like
Awesome.
always, when I get to talk to you and you send me a message say, "Hey, let's chat," I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I didn't wake up till like noon today. It's already 2 o'clock here, but I slept like a baby. The guys were here setting up this system with the camera and the audio in the background and everything and all the lighting, and I was just so joyful of what they were doing for me to get this story out. And I went to bed around midnight, 1 o'clock or something, but I slept like a baby.
Awesome. I'm just going to say, what a beautiful setting you've got. Everything looks so professional and nice, and they did a major favor for you by setting it up for you. Exciting is that?
Oh, we were testing it out, and I put a couple posts on Facebook just trying it out. First a picture, then a little video, and the quality is so good. It's like, oh no, you can see the pimples on my face now,
But
and
no
I
one's
like I got stuff in my teeth, but what few teeth
well,
I have left.
so this donation was made by the company that created the documentary, The
Yeah, the
Quiet
Quiet
Journey
Journey.
TV. Yeah.
They're wonderful, beautiful souls. They do awesome work.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is they got a heart of gold, and they stopped by here on their travels and popped in and set all this stuff up. They were pulling cameras and microphones and lights out of the box, and yeah, I was in tears. I was so joyful that somebody would do that for me to help
Yeah.
get justice, get the truth out.
It's
I
awesome.
had tears in my eyes of joy, and I was walking in the kitchen. It's like I'm not crying, people. And,
Well, what
his
a
his
beautiful
his
gift.
his wife was here. She's like, "You got tears, John." It's like, no, I don't. No, I don't.
It's a beautiful gift. And so if they're watching, I thank them for all their care and all the work they've done and their donation and just the effort they've put into helping you get your story out there. It's so awesome. So,
Yeah, just a quiet journey. And then the bumper stickers.
yeah,
So once again, people hit me up for some bumper stickers. Let's make this go world old
yeah,
school. We're hindered,
yeah,
blocked by our
yeah,
government and the media and everything from getting the truth out to the world. So we're going to old school. But I wanted to share this gift because these people are so kind-hearted. There's a picture of me sitting on a couch with a toy plane. It's not the plane that I was holding when my father died at his funeral, that the Secret Service took away from me and gave me a PT 109 boat instead. But it's one that was in a picture, and they, out of the kindness of their heart, they got this. And it's the same one that was,
oh, cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's the same one that was sitting next to me as a kid. So stuff like this, but I don't even want to take it out of the pack. You got to put the wheels on, and it looks like it's got some gear to put on it, but it's gonna stay brand new in the box. I'm not gonna mess with it. And when we get John F. Kennedy Jr. Healing Center, gifts like this is gonna go in there. The books people send me, the letters. Um, I've been trying to save everybody's love letters and everything. We'll make one big, huge display of Kennedy memorabilia. I mean, there's so much people have sent me over the years,
Yeah.
like this thing here, and
Great.
this bank, this of my father. Little things like that. We could make one really nice display in the healing center. King Smarty has said he's going to put one of the healing chambers in the healing center, so that'll be way cool. And Robin got this really cool gift. Also, I got a toy plane, and she got a little frequency cube here.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I was just seeing that. She showed it to me last night when I was half asleep, but it says source directives on here, and it's got the little frequency things all over. It's way cool.
Yeah, very
Robin
cool.
has it sitting on the crystalline chamber. Um, I spilled my coffee on this earlier, but this is so awesome. King Smarty gifted me this. I
Yep.
did. I got coffee all over it. I was trying to get ready with you, and You know, you can't try out a new system unless you spill your coffee all over it. But yeah, this is an amazing cube, and I don't know nothing about it, but I imagine it's full of healing frequencies and that kind of thing. It's way cool. Um, King Smarty is so loved. Smartyscorner.com. Check it out.
Right? Well, you're going to want to keep your hands on that cube because it will be used to it'll be used to provide free power in the
Oh,
field.
well, hey, I could use all the free stuff I can get.
Yeah, yeah, and we all can. So,
Yeah,
and
that's
it,
cool.
yeah, so keep your hands on that one.
Hey, I'm holding it now.
Yeah.
Last week I got a, where did it go? I don't know what happened to my heart. I spilled coffee all over everything a minute ago, so I was moving everything all around and getting the coffee off of it. Here it is.
Yeah.
This gal, Lisa, she was at a shop and she saw this heart and she thought of me and got it. But I was holding that, and things like this, like I said, are going to go in the little museum, church, whatever healing center you want to call it. Great place that we're manifesting to happen. And now this, and I ain't letting go of it.
Yeah, you're gonna keep that. So awesome, awesome. So as we always talk about, we're gonna say that our stories or what we're talking about is based on John's book, Stolen Identity, available at Amazon or Barnes and Noble. Another amazing book to purchase, The Historian's Tale by Mary Maxwell and John. Okay.
Yeah, I saw a video somebody made of this stolen identity, and it was a video. It said it was only like 11.99 now, and I was like, oh great, they dropped the price of the book. I was so happy, and then I went to Amazon and they didn't. So I don't know what that was all about, but the book is still 19.99, and I wish it was $5. I really did, because people need to hear
Right,
that story.
right.
If you can get the book, put it in your local library. Um, bring it to your church. Let's
Yeah,
get this story out wherever wherever you work, bring it to your work and share. We got to go old school, because the United States of America has been overthrown by the cabal, and they don't want my story out. If they wanted my story out, it would be world within a day. It really would, but they don't want it out. So they're hindering. And uh, wonderful guy named Sean said it's on daddy's time, it's on God's time. So we're going with it, but I ain't going to stop pushing because I want it yesterday. And if daddy wants it next week, then it's on daddy's time, but I'm going to keep pushing each and every day.
right, right. You know, it's going to be you've worked so hard at this for the past 2 or 3 years, like every day making multiple videos and telling the story and talking to people. It's going to be like an unusual feeling. I mean, you're still going to be doing that in the future, but when people actually believe this story without like any resistance, that's going to be like, wow, that's going to be
Yeah. Well,
easier and more
actually,
fun.
actually about 8 or 9 years ago, I mean, I was in total poverty. I was sick. Um, they wouldn't give me my disability. I was walking the streets. So it's been a long time. I've been sharing. I had a food stamp phone, and I would get on there and make videos on Facebook, and I would only get one or two viewers. I had 5,000 fake friends that they gave me so I would not get the story out, so people wouldn't share my story.
Yeah.
They were actually old accounts, you know, that I looked up from people that never even used Facebook, but they threw those friends in there. So they didn't want my story out. And I tried doing everything I possibly could. There's one video that people are sharing. They don't listen to the video, that say I'm really a bastard. Aristotle Onassis' son. I actually made that video and said that just so I could see who the rats are. People started coming out, but they didn't until now. But now they're still the rats because they don't listen to the whole video where I say I'm John Kennedy Jr. and I'm going to catch some rats now. And people don't know how I work, but I said I'm really a bastard. And then at the end of the video, I say, yeah, and I'm John Kennedy Jr. And they don't play the first video. They don't play the part where I say I'm going to catch me some rats, and they don't play the end of the video where I say, yeah, I'm really John Kennedy Jr. They just play the hateful part that thinks, you know, and it's really sad what I have to do to try to get the story out
Mm.
by buffaloing some of these people and pulling little tricks and strings to find out who the rats really are and not your friends and not the supporters. But the cause is to help the children. The cause is for the future of America and the wellness of America, to better America. That's my cause, to expose the criminals and get rid of all the criminals in our government. And when people come against that, there it's all, everything I'm saying is so positive that we can do, and we can do, so soon that our government's not doing, the homeless and like Smarty would say, blah 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 blah. Uh, but yeah, nothing's being done. But there's so much we could do, and then we get the haters trying to knock me down. Why would you knock somebody down when all they want is a better world? But that exposes the rats that they are, the cabal that they are, because they're at the top. They're the elite. They want everything for themselves. They don't want things for America. They want to enslave us as slaves. They're doing it slowly. They really are. They're taking away our freedom of speech. They bought out all the media, so we can't get a real story out. It's all about them and not us. And they're totally draining us. So in the end, it's all going to be about them and nothing about us. And
Right.
we're going to hurt. We're going to hurt for it.
It's shocking when we start to understand what's happening out there. We can't even believe that they would do that to us because we've been taught that, this is the greatest country on earth and that, everything our country does is the good stuff, right? And then as our eyes become open, we see more and more how we've been tricked, right? We've been
Yeah.
lied to, we've been tricked. And it's not just the US, okay? It is a global
Oh,
problem.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's the
global.
whole world.
Yeah,
Even from when I was a child, I remember our CIA taking over South America and what they did, kidnapping, murder of children just to get to the top of the president of South America. Crazy shit. And
yeah,
I was there, I saw it, the things they did. But the main thing they are doing is identity theft.
right.
you the world needs to hear me when I say the organized crime, the mafia within our government, they use identity theft. The CIA has the best masks in the world, but what they do is they eliminate people and they put new people in their place. It seems crazy. Like, how could they even do that? But you're talking the biggest crime ring, organized crime ring in the world. They have access to everything we don't. So they can replace a person and steal everything they got.
Mm.
And, you know, what do we got? Six Donald Trumps, at
Yeah.
least six Donald Trumps. And I keep hearing, why don't you get DNA from Bobby? How many Bobbies do we have? And I just saw a video, Sue. It really breaks my heart because I something's up with Bobby. They killed his father, they killed his brother, and he's still there, obviously supporting the cabal. But I just saw the video a half hour ago. He's with Donald Trump, and he says Donald Trump can't be bought. And don't quote me on this because I don't remember the figures. Once I see Donald Trump, I just click off of it because it's all bullshit anyway. But Bobby is standing there next to Donald Trump and says Donald Trump can't be bought. But Big Pharma gave him $300 million. He can't be bought, but Big Pharma gave him 300 million freaking dollars. And then I read the comments, and it's, well, not only did Big Pharma give him $300, this person gave him millions of dollars, and this organization gave him, and it's basically Bobby just exposed him for taking all this money from these people like Big Pharma. Um, yeah, but Robin, we were reading all the comments, and every single comment on that video was, yeah, he doesn't take bribes or anything like that. Sure, look at this. He did this, he did that. And then Robin says, I don't believe that many people voted for Donald Trump. And I don't either. When I was in the post office before the election, there was people in there talking about assassinating Donald Trump in the post office. I was like, guys, you shouldn't be talking about that. They're like, fuck, we don't care. The guy's an asshole.
Especially in the post office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a federal building.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
they control everything.
Yeah.
I was walking into my post office box, and I don't know who did this or why they did this. But you know, when you hear a porno movie, you hear, oh, 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 you hear that, right? So I was walking into the post office and I heard that over their speaker. Their speaker was playing porn. It really was. I mean, I'm walking in the front door and I'm like hearing, without the words. So I go and I take care of my business. I almost said something to the guy at the counter, but I didn't want to look like a total idiot saying, why are you guys playing porn over your speaker system? And I walked out and I still heard it. I, took care of my business. And I was walking out and it was still playing on their speaker system. So there was a guy I had working for me around here. And I said, get out of the truck and go walk over to the front door and tell me what you hear. And he comes back and he's like, people are fucking. And I went, yeah, but why is it being played on the speaker at the freaking federal post office? And I don't know if it was a message for me because I know how they work. They're federal. They can go into there and change things around just for John Kennedy. Like, maybe I was getting a message. You're getting fucked, dude. Or whoever knows. But anyway, it was so crazy when
Yeah.
I'm walking to go check my post office box to hear porn on the post office speakers. Yeah.
Wow. I gotta say, I probably would have mentioned something to the clerk. Like, how could you work with that?
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, totally crazy. Wow. Wow. So you've got a beautiful setup now, beautiful
Oh,
donation.
this is such a blessing. It really is. And with that said, we're going to keep getting blessed. There's been a gal, Shannon Sheridan, that's been going to Dallas, handing out flyers, made a beautiful board, handing out bumper stickers, sharing my story in Dallas. Well, if she can do that, why can't us Lions do that? So, here in the future, maybe when the weather's really nice, we can plan a rally, a wake up, and yeah, I believe it's an 18-hour drive for me and Robin to get there, but we can take the truck and the trailer and the motorbike and go to Dallas and plan this. Maybe she can help organize it. Maybe all these Lions like Lanny and Mojo and Maggie and everybody can plan it. And there's so many new Lions that are popping up. Let's plan a rally. Let's get 1 million people go to Dallas. We got to find out about the permits and what we need to, so all the million cops don't show up and try to arrest us all and throw us in jail and all the bullshit. And there'll probably be haters there. We'll probably need some security, but it's something to plan. If this gal, she's so wonderful. I can't thank her enough for doing that to get the justice, to get the story out. So let's make what she started huge.
Yes.
Let's plan a day. Let's share it all over old school. The media ain't gonna pick it up. That's for damn sure,
Yeah.
unless miracles happen. But we could plan something. Maybe I can ask the people that put the Quiet Journey. Once we set a date in stone, we can say, "Hey, John Kennedy Jr. and the Lions are going to be in Dallas to expose the truth of why John Kennedy was assassinated."
Well, I know Shannon's gone to Dallas at least 3 times, handing out flyers that she made. She's had a beautiful poster board in back of her. She's talked to people, and most people, are we're going to say receptive. That according to her, she's had a few haters, of course, but most people either don't know about you or want to know more about you.
And it's funny
Perfect.
because the educators that she talks to,
Yeah.
the people that work there, the high school professors, they're so brainwashed they can't handle the truth. They
Yeah.
can't handle that the John Kennedy Jr. that they knew was a fake and a fraud. It's a slap in the face to them because they've done research, probably for hours and hours researching the story of my father's death. And it's so simple. It was a mob takeover. The JFK files are so simple. It was a mafia takeover of our government by organized crime versus organized crime. And what they did, I'm sharing what they did about the murders and the takeovers and the theft of billions of dollars. And our FBI, our Secret Service, if they weren't so corrupt, they'd come to me and they'd say, "Yeah, look at this money trail." and where it goes. That's all you have to do is look at the money trail. Larry King was exposing John, the whole world knew. John Kennedy Jr., the
Right,
whole world knew
right,
after the age of 10, after I was kidnapped and replaced. Larry King was exposing him on his show, saying, what if your name was David? Because the government gave me the name David Quigley. Well, what they did, though, is Larry King, and I hope people listen to me because Larry King was on sharing what they were going to sell of my murdered loved ones' possessions, their jewelry, my mom's possessions. They made millions selling it, advertise it, but they advertise it because that's how the cabal work. They kill. The cabal will take you out, but no, that's not good enough for the cabal. They want to advertise their evil all over a show like Larry King and say, look at this ring. This ring's going to bring $250,000. So they're on there promoting their evilness, having people come on, say, hey, we stole all these possessions, but now we're going to sell them at Trump Tower. Look at all this jewelry that's going to sell for millions of dollars. Look what we did. This is what we stole. We're going to put it all over. But that's not good enough. So what they do is they have an auction. They're auctioning off this stuff, but who's buying it? It's a private auction.
right.
They're selling it to these millionaires, these billionaires that want a piece of the trophy, that want a prize. They want to say, I'm the one that's going to pay $250,000 for that ring of Jackie Kennedy so I can hold it up and say, look, we killed her ass and I got her ring. And that's what they do. That's exactly what they do. They want trophies of what they did. Well, I'm exposing them all for what they did and for how they stole. And I hope people really wake up and listen and get it that that's how the cabal work. It's that evil in our system, in our government, and how powerful they are that they can hold a trophy up and say, we killed Jackie Kennedy. We shot her down in 1975, but I got her fucking ring that was on her finger when we killed her. And it's sick, it's sad, it's the truth, but it is what it is. So
Right.
let's do a little investigation, FBI, CIA, Secret Service, you dirty ass motherfuckers, and do a little investigation on who purchased all the items and who has that ring holding it up saying, I got Jackie Kennedy's freaking ring and look what we
Right.
did. There's
Right.
so many trails of this billions of dollars that they sold going out to the cabal. And it's public record. They made it public record with their arrogance saying, hey, look what we did. And I'm saying, look, this is how they work. All you have to do is follow the trail and you can take down the whole fucking dirty ass government. You can take down the cabal, boom, and they will be finished. And we can go on with a better America and make a future for this country and your children. And that's what it's all about. So let's hear a little truth. Let's get it. Let's let it sink in your head. This is how the cabal work. They have no problem killing children. They have no problem because it's all about the top, the billionaires circle. We're not in that circle. We're not in their club, people. And we're the ones that are going to pay for it if we don't do anything about it.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I apologize, super rambling. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no. This is about what you want to talk about mostly, but I always have questions, but what I wanted to say is your mission, the reason you're here now is because you are a whistleblower. You're bringing all of this content out to us, explaining how it works, why they do it. Why would they go to the trouble of doing all this? And it opens our eyes, it raises our consciousness, but you're plowing the way for the people behind you, the other whistleblowers and people that will be coming forward. So we know that many celebrities have faked their death for various reasons. Many of their children are going through the similar stories to what you've told, and
Yeah.
they'll be coming forward. And there's going to be so much information coming out on this topic very soon. We're going to wonder why we haven't seen it before.
Well,
Like,
I have met so many celebrities, and I know being a child actor, Richard Steele is the name they gave me. And they're still to this very day trying to cover up that that child was not John Kennedy, but a guy named Richard Steele. Well, Hollywood uses fake names all the time.
yeah,
So when you see that little kid, Richard Steele, in bed with Doris Day and Brian Keith, that's me. But I'm exposing all these cover ups and the corruption. But what gets me is Hollywood is so huge. Back then, my three sons, the girl that played on my three sons, I believe somebody told me, I knew that little girl, and she was even on One Adam 12. No, the show Emergency, excuse me. I was on the show Emergency. I was on the show One Adam 12, and my acting name was Richard Steele, the name they gave me.
Right.
Um, but what they do with their MK Ultra and their control of children to do crazy deeds. I was on a video sharing, hey, when I was just a little kid, that they were putting me under MK Ultra, giving me training, handing me a knife in my hand, and telling me to sneak in this house and go kill somebody. That was the kind of training I had, and they didn't like it because I didn't do it. Matter of fact, it's like, no, these people don't need to die because you're fucked up. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the kind of things I do. And
Right.
MK Ultra is a powerful, powerful weapon. People need to wake up to the
Right.
power of mind control and how we are programmed by the programs. We are always programmed, and it's to make us stupid. It's not to, you know, build us up in intelligence. And we need to slap ourselves in the face and say, hey, this is reality.
Right.
Let's get out of this hypnotic state and wake up. Our government's corrupt. We don't need to wave our flags for people like Donald Trump or the system. We need to put those flags down and realize, hey, this guy was best friends with Epstein. Look at all these charges against him by all these women. We need to wake up and look at all the scenarios. What's actually in this dude's closet that we're flying a flag for? Listen to John Kennedy Jr., my loved one, my cousin Donald Trump. I don't believe he's here today. The one that's supposedly releasing the JFK files. I'm the JFK files. How come I'm not released? There's so many,
Right.
and I've been praying. I've been waiting for government officials to pull up here and say, "Hey, we fucked up, dude. You're the real deal, and we tried to eliminate you. We were the ones throwing hand grenades in the Hells Angels clubhouse trying to kill you so you would never share this story. Where are they?" But King Smarty just said there was a general coming to talk to me. And yeah, I want to ask him why they put this general on the back burner and left me in the field. And you don't leave somebody like me in the field. And that's exactly what they did. But, it's because of the corruption and the power and the identity theft that they use for their power. And it really you get into the military, up the ranks. So a lot of these people, they say, oh, well, I can gain this rank if I kill this guy and then I'll gain this rank. Well, they're not learning all the training that these people had to do by eliminating someone climbing the ladder.
Right. Yeah. And you're right. It does dumb everyone down. The programming dumbs everyone down, and we become apathetic about everything. We also then think we're only one person. Our opinion or our vote or our effort or whatever it might be doesn't matter. And that's
Yeah.
incorrect.
Well,
We
there's
all
quite a
matter and our effort matters. If we all band together, we can make a great difference.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that you just meet right off the bat. You say, "Hey, I'm John Kennedy Jr." They'll say, "You're fucking crazy." And it's like, yeah, I am crazy, but you're not that intelligent for jumping to that conclusion in 2 seconds. Have you read my books? Have you read the research? Have you seen my videos? Have you seen the Quiet Journey movie? Um, and learned a little truth on kidnapping and extortion and how our government works and the torture and all this before you just say, oh, you're fucking crazy. And that's what our government, that's what the cabal want. They want you to be crazy. They play their little fucking games and try to discredit you, hinder you from getting the truth out. And that's what they've been doing for years.
Right.
And I think we're making a lot of progress um, each and every day. We are.
Yeah.
And I thank all the new supporters that join in. We need you. We need your support. We need you to wake up, do your research, and get it. There's so many people that see the quiet journey and then they wake up and they get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But right now they're in a state of fog, and they just can't believe that they've been lied to about everything. It's like from the moon landing to all this. When the government does something and they make it act like they're doing it for we the people, and all they're doing is doing it for we the billionaires.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I saw a clip from the moon landing, for example, the other day. It was so obviously fake, okay, and ridiculous. And I'm like, wow, how did people not know that was fake? Well, because nobody thought anything, we all thought everything was real back then.
Yeah, we were
Like,
totally lied to by people that we trusted and believed. Totally
yeah,
lied to, just like my story. We've been lied to by people we
totally
trust and
innocent.
believe. But
Yeah.
then you start looking at the moon landing footage. How did they get all that equipment up on the moon? How did
Yeah.
they get that photographer to take a picture of him stepping off the rocket ship, saying one big leap for mankind and I'm a big fraud and all that nonsense? But then how did they get that equipment on there? Where
Yeah.
are the tire tracks
Yeah.
and all this other stuff? And how
Yeah.
did they even get off the moon when there's no gravity? Oh, there's so many questions, but it was all Hollywood. I was taken to a Hollywood set of the moon landing, and Wayne was sitting there in disbelief, and he was like, "That's how they fucking did it." That's what he said. That's how they fucking did it. And this might have been right when Wayne started taking over all that crap. I really don't know, but I remember him. And I was looking at the moon set in Hollywood,
Yeah.
and I was like, I really didn't get it. That's how they did it because that's all he told me. But now I get it. All Hollywood production working with our CIA to fuck us. I can't. I don't even want to look how much money NASA made from taxing us Americans so they could do a Hollywood movie
Yeah.
and fool us all and lie to us all and trick us all. It's crazy. They probably made trillions of dollars, and you walk around and these people are homeless, walking in poverty, and they're stealing from us, making fake moon landings. It's like, come on, people, let's get rid of this fake ass government that does things like that. We don't need them. We really don't. And we have the ability to say, go away. We don't want you doing this shit, taking our money for fake ass moon landings.
So what did this set look like? Was it just like a flat thing with like a lot of pebbles and
Yeah,
dust?
if you see pictures of the moon landing, it's a set where it looks like basically like the desert would look, but
Yeah.
grayish.
Yeah.
And there wasn't no equipment there. I mean, the rocket ship wasn't sitting in it, but it was
Yeah.
just the dirt and the ground
Yeah.
and the setting for the equipment to go on there. But
Yeah.
you could tell it looked like the frickin' moon to me.
Yeah. Well, they just made a movie out. I think it's called Fly Me to the Moon. And it's about why they come up with a reason why they did this and how it wasn't really used, okay, which is of course BS. It's another piece of programming, so they're trying to get ahead of things, but they give you a different spin on it. But like if you look today, I saw a meme, and it showed a diver in the ocean with a couple air tanks on his back, and it said enough air for 3 hours or whatever it was, okay. And then it shows the moon guy and it goes enough air for 4 days or something. I forgot what it was, but it was very well done. Like it really brings home the point that we were lied to and we didn't know any better. And
Right.
again, we meaning the people that watched it back then. But they trusted their, news reporters. Walter Cronkite at the time, he was gospel. Whatever he said went, right? And we just like whatever the politicians said, people, the doctors, whatever they were, people believed. And the problem is that's carried forward now, but it's so blatantly incorrect, or there's an agenda or
Yeah.
whatever it might be. So you can see through it so easily now,
Yeah,
your
it's
eyes are
it's
open.
it's
Yeah,
it's all been overrun.
yeah,
All the media.
yeah.
I've met several news anchors, and I even went to school with Sean Hannity. But it's crazy what we don't know about how they place people in
Mhm.
in the public's eye to do their work, and it's all about money and power and threats.
Right,
They'll give you the money, and they'll tell you what to say, and if you don't go with the program, then they're going to come up with the threats all the way to unaliving you.
right.
To yeah, that's how they work. That's how they
Yeah.
operate.
Exactly.
And, there's been hundreds of emails and messages sent to so many people. So don't give up, Lions. Keep sharing those books to your library. Keep sharing those books to the Senate, Congress, the local news, the mainstream news, and we're gonna get it sooner or later. We're gonna bust that glass ceiling that we're living in.
Yeah. No effort is ever wasted.
Um, Hold on just a second, Sue.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm wondering if I should share the website while we're waiting. And I'm of course not prepared, so sorry. I'm gonna get that ready. How's that sound?
Sorry for that interruption.
Yep. No. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
one of
good.
the, one of the painter guys was actually knocking on my door.
Oh,
So
good. So you've
yeah,
been getting your house painted, and they're actually going to start working on it now in the afternoon?
I have no idea. He just wanted to talk to me, I guess. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, anyways, we all agree, everyone watching this now agrees. You're important, you're doing your mission, and you're the first piece that's going to bring in all of these other, whistleblowers, people that have stories to tell, people that are afraid to get out there and tell their stories, people that have faked their death and want to tell why. It's going to be huge. It is huge. This is huge, anyways. Your story alone is a standalone story.
yeah.
Huge, world
Um,
changing story. But you're going to be bringing along many more with it.
right. There's so many people with stories like mine, but my story is the story of the century. Maybe there's some bigger. But by what I know, my story is the story of the century with what
Yeah,
I'm exposing,
yeah,
what was done to me, how the government works, and they're hindering us. We should be making world news. Hey,
yes.
the real John Kennedy Jr. was kidnapped, was replaced. I mean, that's huge. That's huge.
Huge.
There's no denying it. They try to get their little people to discredit me and
Yeah,
get me to give up. Years ago when I was on pace, I gave up. I gave up for about a year just because I was getting nowhere. I had no money for advertising. I had nothing. And I was like, why am I wasting my time hours trying to get my story out? Nobody's listening. I was pulling a wagon around Bullhead City with a flag on it said, I'm John Kennedy Jr. But yeah, I had food stamp phone, and finally I just said, "Fuck it, I don't even need a phone. I don't want to talk to nobody anyway." I think I went for a year without a phone.
okay.
Not having a phone, I lost my doctors. I didn't go to the doctors for a year. I didn't do nothing for about a year. Um, but it was like, hey, if there's a way I could figure out to break the bubble that they put me in to get it
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
and I came back. I started sharing some more, and look at us now. We got a beautiful setup. We're getting out. I'm doing a wonderful interview with the beautiful Sue Greenwald to get the story out, and
Yeah,
we're making a lot of progress. Since I was sitting here with a food stamp phone, making Facebook videos, saying, "Hey, what can we do? Look."
yeah.
And every time I say that, it reminds me of when I was in San Diego, homeless with duct tape on my shoe, kicking a can down the freaking road, homeless, saying, I'm John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. And look, I got duct tape holding my shoe together.
Crazy.
Something's really fucked up with this world.
Really crazy.
And I've been marching on. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Well, you know, the book tells the story beautifully. Okay. It gives the core story. So for those that like to read, the book is here. It's also on YouTube if you don't like to read. So great content there. But the quietjourney.tv is a 1 hour documentary. Okay. So for those that definitely don't want to read, it gives you a really good overview of the story, beautifully done. And it usually, the way it made me feel is I wanted to know more. Now I do know more, but I wanted more after I heard what you had to say in that documentary. Beautifully done.
yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
And with that
So,
said, hey, look at this. I got a wonderful microphone, a crystal clear camera, a nice background.
yeah.
If you guys are into this podcast thing, um, yeah, hit me up, send me an email, and I'll put you in contact with the guy that does all this because he
Yeah,
donated this to me,
yeah,
and it's wonderful. If we could throw him some work, if he wants to work, I don't even know if he wants to work, but yeah,
yeah.
he's really good. He explained how things work to me, and you got to push this button and that button. Very professional. So yeah, if you want a podcast set up like me, hit me up,
Yeah.
and I'll put you in contact with the guy.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Now, can I ask a couple questions for this
Yeah,
one?
sure, sure.
So, the one person asked a really good question. Why do you think your family was killed, but you were left alive?
I thank God for that. I mean, I was being protected. Maybe they were double agents, but there was many attempts on my life, and God talked to me and said, "Don't go here, don't do this, do this." Um, I was going crazy, like in my book, not checking into motels,
Mm,
playing it smart. I was taught I was in Vietnam as a child with the enemy trying to kill me,
right.
with me cutting ears off of our enemy, putting him around my neck, learning
Yeah.
how to stay alive. And, it was the constant people are trying to kill you. Stay alive, do what you have to do to stay alive. So I was doing that, but I don't think that they let me live. They wanted very much for me to be dead, all the way from throwing a hand grenade in the clubhouse of the Hells Angels to kill me. That was our own government. That hand grenade was tested and it went back to our federal government hand grenade. Um, yeah, that's huge. So it's not like, they let me live.
Beautiful point because
I mean,
they,
I was poisoned laying in bed wanting to put a gun to my head and blow my head off because I was in so much freaking pain and nobody was there but me. And then somebody opens the door and says, "Oh, you're still alive," and then shuts the door and leaves, hoping I'll die. Yeah, so many different scenarios, so many attempts on my life, from a bullet grazing my cheek, working in my front yard. Um, yeah, so their guess is as good as mine on that one. I
yeah,
can share my stories, all the attempts on my life, but when they say, "Why did they let you live?" I had been in plane crashes that should have taken my life. I was under MK Ultra a lot of the time too. But like when my stepbrother was shot in the head in front of me, I could have very easily died on that plane that day. Very easily. He did. I just broke my arm and my fingers hurt from me trying to claw out of that wreckage. But yeah, so when they ask me that, I really can't say. I just God's on my side. God's with me. God has his plans. So I'm on God's plan.
right, right. So the to clarify that question, which is it's a beautiful question, but it's not like they sat around and said, "Ah, we're gonna let them live." Like somebody obviously kind of saved you initially, and like Wayne was showing you the ropes and stuff, but you've had so many attempts on your life, it's insane. Like most of us wouldn't have survived. But it's obvious that you're being protected for your mission here and now with what you're doing now
Yeah.
because
Now, is it some good guys in the CIA?
no,
There's so many ifs or whys or hows. I can't explain it because they didn't tell me.
yeah,
They didn't tell me why I had all this training my whole life just to be kicked in poverty and kept in poverty
yeah,
until these days ahead. I just don't have the answers for a lot of people.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know myself. And, I pray to God,
Well, think of it this way too. All right, we'll just take the CIA for example. Look at how big they are. They're secret. No one really knows how many people are involved, blah, 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 blah. They've got the money. They've got all the information. They have the manpower. They have this, they have that. You're just a young child at this point, right? You're just like being blown around by all these forces and you have no idea what's happening, other than it's horrible, right?
yeah,
So they always had the upper hand, or at least they thought they did. They actually played right into God's plan.
yeah. Well, see, this is a good example on
Yeah.
this story I'm going to share. Me and Wayne, I believe we were at CIA. Maybe it was Guantanamo. I was under MK Ultra, so I don't remember. there was a double agent. I knew this double agent. Um, and he came in with some other people. I believe they were going to Guantanamo,
Yeah.
to be put in prison and questioned and tortured and all this. But Wayne had this one guy that came in and he hung him on a hook on a wall so his feet were off the ground. Very painful. Well, this guy was a good guy. He was one of ours. He was a spy for the United States of America. And when he came in with this group of terrorists, Wayne actually picked him up and treated him very badly right in front of everybody. Now, why would Wayne do that? Why would Wayne hurt that guy? And then you think, why? This guy's a double agent. He's a spy. Well, if he comes in and Wayne's nice to him, or CIA is nice to this guy, they're going to know he is a spy. He
Right.
is a double agent, and they're going to kill that man. So Wayne hurt the man, but he hurt him to save his life. He wanted the other members, the other terrorists, to know that that guy was one of them. He's getting tortured too. So what happened? And the story's not finished with that, because what our government acknowledged he was a spy. Instead of our government keeping quiet, our government acknowledged that that man was a double agent in their records, in their files, or whatever they did, and the terrorist killed him.
Oh,
So Wayne tried to save this man's life by putting him on a hook, but our government released the files to the terrorist that he was a double agent. So now he is dead. So everybody needs to think about how things are played out. And they're not played out like you think they are. There's a lot of spin, a lot of things going on. I don't even know. But when you looked at the scenario, hey, Wayne's torturing this guy, um, but it was for his own good.
yeah.
But then our government, thinking it was for his own good, released the files on the man just so he could be executed by terrorists.
Well,
Hello?
and by doing that, they kept their hands clean. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah,
we didn't kill him. We didn't, you know what I mean? We didn't know.
right.
They got rid of him. Awful. Awful. Okay, next question. Um, do you have any memory of the Kennedy compound?
I probably didn't realize it was a compound, but I have lots of memories of being at lots of houses and places,
Yep.
all over the world. I was always on in an airplane or on a camel, or literally, or coming out of an elephant that they shoved me up. Crazy things they did to me. Is there's plenty of weird religions out there. But yeah, from riding elephants to riding camels, all over. But as far as a compound where I was a little kid looking around saying, "Oh, it's a compound," no. I remember, a lot of little things like my bunny rabbit and my sister, sitting there talking with my sister, giving my sister hell, a lot of moments like that. But as far as this building or that building, I remember the White House playing under the desk with my father. I know that was a photo op. I remember all the photo ops that were taken. Um, it was kind of like planned, but my father loved me. He knew it was to build them up in power and in the media, and build the United States up around the Kennedys. So that's all good. But there's a few memories I have that are good memories, really good memories.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, a lot of people want to know because it's so, like what we're shown in the movies and the magazines is so different from the way we've grown up and lived, right? So people are enamored by that. All right. Just like they can't get it out of their head that you're double, you know, you
Yeah.
know,
But
they
I
don't,
remember quite a few things, and some of them were pretty serious.
yeah.
As a child, I remember them having a meeting where somebody was killed, somebody was murdered, and they were having a meeting about it. Why was this person killed, and why did they do it? And it was actually a family meeting where a bunch of Kennedys were there, and they were trying to figure out why a murder had been committed. Um, And I remember that as a child. It's like
Mm.
killed. Oh wow, this is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you ask a question, so an aunt or something would be standing there, and you're like, who's killed? And they'll just go away, kid.
Yeah. 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 Because they're upset and they don't want to spend the time to explain it to you so you understand it, right?
Yeah, and I was just a little kid. It was none of my business anyway, but
Yeah.
they were trying, death is very important. We all only have one life. And
Yeah. Yeah.
but
All right.
the Kennedys were going through a mafia war. They were being killed. And our government has the power to cover all that up like they have been doing for years. And it's not fair to we the people for the people not to know what's going on at the top,
Right.
our elected officials, what's going on with people we put in power. It's not fair for them to keep all the secrets that they do.
Right.
So I'm here exposing the secrets that they do, and maybe we can make it world that, hey, I'm John Kennedy Jr. Hello, they're covering me up. Let's get it out there, people.
Right.
Hit that share button. Help me get justice.
Yep.
I'm relying on the people. That's my plan. Relying on each and every one that sees this video to hit that share button, to go see the Quiet Journey.tv, the little movie at the top with my father's speech. Listen to my father's speech. Hear what he's telling you, people. He's telling you it's happening. This is what is happening, and it has happened. Um, Share. There's on the Quiet Journey, there's a Facebook button. You could share it on Facebook. Let's light up Facebook with the truth.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
get it out there. Um, Share me and Sue's interview today on Facebook. Let's get it out. Let's get the millions of views that we deserve for all the hard work we are trying to do to save you, to save this country, to make a future for your children. Just hit that share button, please.
Right. I agree. And we've got some great people out there helping. I see them on social media. They're doing a spectacular job. Shannon going to Dallas.
Oh, that's
People
wonderful.
that created the quietjourney.tv, Mary Maxwell with her book. Like people are helping, and that is so greatly appreciated. And
They really are helping so much.
yeah,
I get so busy. I do just trying to be me.
yeah,
I got so much good sleep last night because I was up at midnight, but I slept like a baby.
yeah,
But it was so needed because I'm always doing something. I'm just trying to survive like everybody else, but I'm trying to make things better
yeah,
for me and Robin. Just to paint the house, to build a fence, to do this and do
right,
that,
right,
um, to water the garden so we have a beautiful garden. I just stay busy, busy, busy.
right, right,
And me sharing my story, it just makes me more busy.
right.
I hope people understand, people message me all the time and say, well, I thought you would get back to me. And it's like, not that I didn't want to, it's because I'm just so busy.
Yeah,
I probably got 20 email messages right now that I haven't messaged people. So I'm sorry, I'm just busy. I
yeah.
found about 5 or 6 letters in the mailbox over here of people wanting bumper stickers. And I'm like, did I send them bumper stickers or didn't I send them bumper stickers? I just don't remember because I was sending out hundreds of letters. So it's like I'm going to send them out again because I
Yep,
just don't know. So
yep,
if you didn't get your bumper sticker, don't think I'm just being a prick or whatever. Message me again, say, "Hey John, I didn't get my bumper stickers. I
yep.
want my bumper sticker." But people, get some bumper stickers. They
Right,
were donated for us to put on your vehicles, to stick on wherever you want to stick on it, to get the word out, to help make this world a better place. That's all it's all about. It
right.
really is.
So in the description below will be John's mailing address. And of course, his legal name at this moment is David Quigley. All right. So if you write a check to him, make sure you make it to that name. But you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope and ask for bumper stickers. And that's the easiest way for you, John, because
Yeah,
you
it makes it a
open
lot
the
easier
envelope. Yeah, you
when I
don't have
just
to
have
think.
to stick some bumper stickers in.
Yeah, yeah. So it feels like we're at a really good place to wrap up for today. But I want to thank everyone watching us right now for all their efforts in getting this story out there. And John, your story, like I said, it's coming out this year. And we're burning through daylight. It's already the end of May. It's
Yeah,
coming out
it's
this
going
year.
fast.
Yeah,
The time goes by. But once again, thank you all so much for your love gifts, your donations,
yeah.
And if you can mention the website, Sue, that would be
Oh, yeah,
cool.
yeah. The website is the real John F. Kennedy Jr.com. And that will be in the description as soon as I, put it all together.
That's
Okay.
awesome and so
Yeah.
appreciated.
The
Thank you so
website has
much. Thank
fabulous content on it. So
once again your love gifts and your cards and your blessings and prayers. Thank
yeah.
you and God bless you all. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. We're gonna
Talk
get
to you very
justice
soon.
here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Love you.